Hi there, this is Marty from owingsart.com. That's OWINGSART.com, and thanks for stopping by today as we take a look at some different types of sketchbooks, the paper, and I'm going to use some different types of media on each one of these and kind of put them to the test for you and help, hopefully at the end, kind of make a decision or at least a more informed choice about the type of sketchbook you might use. Today's gear will include all the sketchbooks, including a pencil, an ink pen, water and an alcohol-based marker, and of course watercolor. The first book I'll start with is a handbook Trav-e-logue journal made by Global Art Materials in the USA. This is marketed as a watercolor travel sketchbook. So I tried each one of the pieces of media here, and I love the texture on these books, and the fabric cover is just beautiful. You get the stitching between the pages, so it's very nice. So I like that one. We'll come back to that in a minute. Second one I'm going to try out is this Moleskine watercolor notebook, marketed as strictly a watercolor notebook. This Moleskine uses, I think, 125-pound paper, and it doesn't have a lot of texture to it, but just enough to make your watercolor work. Moleskine is designed in Italy. They use some French paper, and I'll guess that it's probably Canson type paper, and then it's all assembled in various places: Turkey, China, Vietnam. But Moleskine has been around forever, and lots of people just love using the Moleskine notebooks and sketchbooks, and this one really is no different. It held up quite well. I saw a little bleed through with the Copic marker, which is an alcohol-based marker, and then when you compare the two, they perform just about the same. I think the Moleskine paper was just slightly heavier than the Trav-e-logue paper, so it might hold up a little bit better. The next one we'll try is a Kona Classic Field Journal, and this is a toned paper notebook. You can find these at hollanders.com if you want to go there and take a look, but they're great as well. Now, these Kona are made of 100% recycled paper, and they're really nice. They're 88 pound. This happens to be an 8x8 book. It's ring bound, so you can pull the paper or cut it away from the ring if you want. But it's really nice, and I take it all over with me, and I like it a lot. Here's a few sketches. First of all, you'll see that there wasn't a lot of bleed through even with the Copic marker because the paper is it's heavier. So it's not super heavy, but I think maybe the tone helps. Anyway, here's just a few quick page through of some of the sketches I've done in this book, and yeah, it's pretty good. It's got a nice hardcover, and I like it. I take it with me all over, and it's held up well. The next one is another handbook Trav-e-logue in a similar shape to the first one we looked at, only this one is just for general use. It's not billed as a watercolor sketchbook, and again, it's available at globalartmaterials.com. It's nice. I think it's about the same weight paper as the first one we looked at, and I use it again all the time, and it's nice. It holds up to all different kinds of media, especially watercolor and colored pencil, even marker. I just have had very little problems with the book and enjoy using it. Here again, just a few sketches I've done in the book, and I like using the full length of the book, to do sort of panoramics, tall buildings, what have you. They're pretty cool for that, and they're individually, well, not individually, but close to individually stitched pages. So if you want to do like a fold out, you can do that pretty easily, and it works well. All right, the next one I'm going to try is a Canson Classic sketchbook. This is a classic cream sketchbook, so it's a little bit, the paper is more traditional. It's creamier, I guess you could say. And I like the way the paper behaves underneath pencil. It's really nice. There's a really cool texture to it. We'll see that later on in a Fabriano paper, but you can see there's a little bleed through here. This paper isn't as heavy. It's 90 pound, but still good. Probably my very favorite sketchbook to use is the Stillman & Birns Zeta Series heavyweight paper. It's 270 GSM, or about 100 and some, I don't know, it's 120 or 140 pound paper. It's just really nice, and it holds up well. I use it all the time. I can generally use all kinds of mixed media on this paper without any problem at all. Very little bleed through in the alcohol markers, and just I hit it with watercolor pretty hard. So you know, when I'm out sketching, I put this thing through its paces. It really holds up well, and the paper is bright and smooth. Now, depending on what kind of sketching you're doing or what kind of effect you want, you may want a more toothy paper than this. And Stillman & Birn make a, I think it's their Beta series, which has a lot more texture than this particular paper. Next, we'll move on to the Super Deluxe by B Paper, which is just a classic, excellent little book. They bill it as the only sketchbook you'll ever need, and boy, I tell you, that's just about true. Now, this is 93 pound paper and just excellent all around. The next one we'll try is a Fabriano Bristol paper. This is a really nice smooth paper. So when you see Bristol on a paper, it's going to be smooth. Sometimes they call it Bristol plate, but this Fabriano is made in Italy. They do it right. They might be the oldest paper manufacturer in the world in continuous operation, and their paper is just fantastic. So that's the first one we'll try from Fabriano. As you can see here, this is really good paper, and even the pencil shows a little texture in the paper, even though it's very smooth. It's just really nice in the right size, especially if you do marker work or some kind of ink. The next thing we'll try is this little Fabriano Classic Artist Journal, and this really has some very nice papers in it. Two different colors. There's a cream paper, a toned paper, and a white paper, and they're kind of spaced so that they skip. You know, I guess you can do 25 pages in white and then 25 pages in cream, but point is, it's really, really nice paper, and you can tell it's just the quality is there. So I just like, you know, kind of looking through this book and yeah, just looking at the fresh paper, and they're thinking of all the things I can put in this little book. So Fabriano, it's a little one. It's a 5x7. It's just awesome, and we'll put it to the test here. And when I put my pencil marks on this, you'll see that there's a really nice lined texture to this. You can see it there. There's a texture in the paper. Now for watercolor and other stuff, it doesn't show up as well, but it's still pretty nice. So we looked at all of these sketchbook papers today, and if you pressed me for which one I thought was the best, I'd probably say the Stillman & Birn was the best notebook or best sketchbook I use. But all of them perform really quite excellently, and I make it a point to buy good paper, because if you're going to put something in them, it might as well be the best you can afford. The other sketchbook I want to say a couple of words about is the Super Deluxe by B Paper. I just love it. It's little. It's a 6x4, but you can get it in any size. But it's 93 pound paper. It's about the size of a large smartphone, and you can stick it in your pocket and take it wherever you want. It's ring bound, and it's just really nice. I like the Moleskine, but and some of the others, but I really just, the Stillman & Birn's pretty awesome. But check it out if you get a chance. I think you'd like it. I'd like to hear your feedback on different types of media too, including some I didn't cover, like pastels or crayon or oil paints even. Well, this has been Marty for owingsart.com. That's OWINGSART.com. This skull sketch I did in the Stillman & Birn too, and I laid lots of layers on it. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Leave comments or questions. I love to hear them. And don't forget to check out the other videos. Hopefully they're helpful to you. All right. Have a great day, everybody. So long for now. Bye-bye.